episode 53.
Welcome to Into the 99, where we have 99 cards because Commander's number one, and I'm one of your hosts, Brian.
I'm one of your hosts, Zach.
I'm Hope.
And I'm Daniel, and today we have some guests with us. Brian's going to introduce them.
So today we have two of our partners, Brennan and Dante.
We'll start with Brennan. Brennan, quickly tell everyone what you do and
Who you are.
plug the stream.
My name's Brennan. I do a weekly Commander stream on Twitch. My channel is called the Canada Geeks, even though I'm only a single person, but I'm working on that. Trying to become more than one person.
Good luck with that. Pretty difficult.
Yeah.
We haven't quite figured out the self-replicating, but
It might just be easier to have an additional personality.
I can sometimes if I'm tilted. But so we stream, or I stream every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch, and I fill the rest of the seats with random guests. I had Zach on last week. I put the videos on YouTube after, and random things on Instagram.
Man. Yeah, Brennan's Instagram is also Canada Geeks, and his streams are awesome. He brings on all different people from the community. Definitely would recommend checking those out. Dante?
Good morning, friends. How's it going?
Not bad at all.
Delightful.
Fantastic. I am. I'm happy to up the resident American on this stream by one. I'm broadcasting from Oregon, where it's currently on fire. I am actually on fire while we're recording this because that's how we roll here in Oregon. I write a column for Into the 99 called How to Get Better at Commander Without Really Trying, focusing on the social side of the game, basically just how to not be a jerk and make your Commander experience better for everybody by being a better player, including yourself. I just wrote an episode. Yeah, I wrote an episode. I wrote an article called Trigger Happy. It's about remembering your triggers, even though they might be detrimental to you. And that includes all your opponent's triggers and everything like that. It's very antithetical to what we're taught as 60 card format players. But once we're in 100, everything gets a little bit shaky. And I'm happy to be here.
Well, even speaking about that last article, like you said, it does make everyone play better when you remind everyone.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. It's not like you said, like just on a quick touch. Like if somebody has a trigger that's going to cause damage to me, Brian, if he forgets, like it's not a you may, it's not a matter of like, oh, you missed a trigger, I'm just gonna not tell anyone and skip it and whatever.
It holds you more accountable as well, right?
Totally, and it makes all of you better Magic players. So I definitely respect that there, Dante.
Yeah, it's a very good article. Make sure you guys go over and check it out.
Mm-hmm. Over on the website, into99.com.
Today we're going to finish talking about the Zendikar Rising spoilers because we didn't get to any of the multicolored legends. A few other cards have come out since then that are worth talking about, to say the least. We're gonna start it off with the we didn't have the two shock flip lands for green and black. Brian, do you have those ones up yet?
No, I do not.
Okay, I'll read the first one. It's Agadeem's Awakening. It's X and 3 black for a sorcery. Return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that each have different CMC, X or less. And that's the one that flips for black. It can come in tapped or untapped for 3.
Yeah, any number that have a different is really cool because especially late game, if you hit like a decently high number and you go like bam, 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 and you could also get like an X cost something or other. That's like nothing.
There's so many creatures that care about like the chain kind of things, like your Prime Speaker Florian, your
Prime Speaker Florian.
Yeah, Florian. You know what? Shout out to my boy.
I don't think that's it.
Whatever the Prime Speaker is.
Vanifire?
Oh, yeah, I can see why I got those confused.
Yeah.
I'm so used to saying Florian. Vanifer, where you have the chain, or Yisan, the same thing. If you can hit 7, being able to bring back a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would be crazy late game.
I feel like this is going to be kind of a staple in any Sir Conrad deck going forward.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Just especially like if you're able to go ahead and construct your curve and just mill everything into your graveyard. I mean, what kind of a Sir Conrad deck doesn't have 20 cards in the graveyard by turn 5, right? Like you should.
And great targets to bring back.
Also,
exactly.
When I saw this, I was more excited for like the 8 billion Abzan decks I have built because this just slots into all of them. And Neithroy, this card is
just so much fun.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
already excited anyways because I still play Crypt of Agadim and a lot of my decks that care about the graveyard. So to see it,
Same.
yeah, so to
Mhm.
see it printed again in a new way where it's, I guess, more powerful. Like having we don't have the option to get the mana, but to get back, these creatures is just still just as powerful.
Well, recursion's great, and also just the ability to have a tap land at its worst, a shock fast land if you need it to keep up,
Mhm.
or a late game bomb. Like all of these, like I said, are really, really good.
Mhm.
Do you have the green one up, Hope?
I sure do. I also wanted to mention about these lands really quickly. I don't know because we weren't sure about it on the last episode, about how they would be considered like in the deck and in the grave. And
We touched on them.
oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, it's to quickly remind everyone, they are whatever their face side is in every zone except for when you can play them.
Yes.
So if it's in your hand, you can choose to flip it at any point. But if I'm Nylaia's Intervention and I'm going to look for lands, and it's on the Agadim's Awakening side, I cannot go fetch it out. But I could Mystical Tutor it out and then play it from my hand with a land.
Correct.
Oh
Right.
man.
Yeah.
So
So,
they're
which is
good.
nice. I'm happy they cleared that up.
All right.
Sorry, what did you say, Brennan? We didn't actually.
They're very good in decks where you don't have sleeves. Oh yeah, I'm on this side.
You're speaking my language there, bud.
Mhm.
So the green one that we finally got spoiled is Turn Timber Symbiosis. So it's 4 and 3 green, and its sorcery is look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. If that card has CMC 3 or less, it enters with 3 additional 1/1 counters on it. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
It's
Look
pretty
at the top
decent.
7, grab any creature card you want. If it's little, add a bunch of.
If it's little, make it at least kind of big.
Make it
if it's a
big.
Titan, then
It's already big.
Mhm.
So-
I mean,
That's gross.
yeah, this seems to slot right into Green's color pie of
Yeah.
making it very easy to win games.
Yeah. It's big, and if it's not big, make it big. Green is very simple.
I love green. Green's my favorite color.
Simple man.
I
with a
mean-
simple plan.
I mean, yeah, like green's my favorite color too. I'm just I'm just trying to struggle to find a green deck where you would not want to play this.
Oh,
Like,
of course
I
you would,
simply cannot think of one.
Well, because at its core, at the end of the day, it's still a solid land if you need it early game / a land if you just want it, and late game, it's a big creature.
Green needs-
I'll be honest. I probably wouldn't play it for the 7. I'd probably just play it for the land.
But you might.
I have a
It's
bunch
nice
of
to know
decks
you
that 7
can.
would work real good in.
It's
And
also.
especially your Sovala deck, Brian, where you're generating your 7 mana.
I was gonna say it's not like you're
Yeah, I guess so.
struggling for mana.
Get deep for that
in
Elish Norn.
green.
And
Mhm.
turn 3
Swear
Elish
to
Norn. No one's gonna
God.
let that down.
Yeah.
Oh
You
man,
know
that
what?
would be disgusting.
At
It is
some point, they're going to make a green commander that lets you have 200 cards in your deck and play 3 lands per turn. It'll happen.
That's just the way that it goes.
Your max starting deck is 80.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, speaking of Elish Norn, you want to know what was said to me the other day? Should I make an Elish Norn commander deck? And I was like,
Who
no.
hurt you?
Go home. Think about what's going on in your life.
Yeah, you're actually banned from
You
store
got
for a
to
week.
self-reflect.
Mhm.
At Elish
You're
Norn
already
deck.
bullying me.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, if you're gonna go mono white, it's Archangel Avacyn. Like, let's be real here. That's at least a little bit less, makes me want to kill you.
it's true. The next one I really wanted to touch on is, as I've said, I love Landfall. It's this Ancient Green Warden. It's 4 green for a 5/7, which is good stats already. Reach. You can play lands from your graveyard, so Crucible of Worlds, real good. And then it just doubles your land triggers because why not? Green needed that at 6.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, this is the card that I've affectionately dubbed Land Harmonicon.
Yeah. This whole set just seems like, hey, do you want to upgrade Windbrace?
Yeah.
So badly.
Do you want to
Like I
upgrade
played-
Tatiova?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played against a few landfall decks, but just now even thinking about it, I'm like, these decks are gonna be disgusting. now.
This is Field of the Dead trigger number 6 now.
I'm kind of casually working on like a Landfall Omnath deck.
Okay.
So now Well, now I
Auto
was
include.
yeah. Well, I was gonna keep working on it. And I was like, well, I'll just wait till Zendikar's out and then I'll see. Like,
Yeah.
that seems foolish.
I keep going to upgrade my Muldrotha, and it's the same thing. Like, there's
Yeah.
just so many
Just sit on
good
it.
cards coming out for it.
I know. I've been really struggling with that. I'm just like, guys, I've got a bunch of decks that I want to work on right now, but I'm just like, I really just need to sit tight and chill out for a second.
There's
pretty.
from this set, there's currently only one like legendary creature I want to build a deck around.
Yeah, I was actually saying that there's not a lot of, to me, it doesn't seem overwhelming for Commander options of things that you'd want to build super badly, but there's so many upgrades for every deck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think there's one or two that I would be interested in building, but yeah, it's mostly like this deck is just like upgrade city.
New Omnath is really
So,
cool. I really like
No,
him.
I'm not.
Yeah. Before we go on
I
and
hate
stuff,
myself.
Dante, I was going to ask, do you have a favorite card from this set so far? Spoiled?
Do I have a favorite card from this set? I mean, we haven't talked about it yet, and but
I'll
we're
let
gonna
you
get
take
there.
when you're ready. Yeah.
Oh,
Brennan,
okay.
do you have one?
Yeah, you guys actually touched on it last time.
Which one?
I had beef with Brian over it.
Oh, yeah.
It's the new legendary Minotaur landfall extra combat guy.
Hell yeah.
Oh god, yeah, I love that guy so much.
That's
He
a
was my
killer
favorite
card.
until my favorite card got spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
you're-
Landfall extra combats.
Well, you're the Minotaur guy.
That's true.
yeah, apparently so. I think it's really good. You can get it with Deathbell of Warcry. The Neheb the Eternal likes extra combats, like produces damage done, and then
Najila.
you get Assault or Relentless Assault. Which one's the enchantment?
Yeah.
Aggravated.
Aggravated assault.
Yeah,
Where
so I
you,
think
the enchantment dump your mana in with.
this card's sneaky good in Minotaur tribal decks.
Oh yeah.
It's stinking good in red.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If I open it, I'm putting it in Zerzoth. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if I open it, this is going straight into Grand Warlord Rada. I'm always looking for new targets for Fierce Empath, and this guy slots right in. Right, I've already got Aggravated Assault for the extra combats and Hellkite Tyrant, and this guy, like, you know what? Let's just have extra combat step number 3.
Same vibe. If I get this one, it's going right into Peripheral's Bronze Blooded because it's the same thing. It's just like aggro, kill,
Mhm.
kill, kill.
I did want to touch on one more rare before we get back into these.
Yes, of course.
Scoot Swarm. Someone in our
That's what I was just saying.
someone in the
Oh
Discord,
god.
they're like, this actually, it seems like it could be okay on its face. No, this is an insane card.
Mhm.
It's the
It's so good.
three mana landfall. Whenever a land enters under your control, create a 1/1 green insect token. Already a great ability, already rare level, super good. If you control 6 or more lands, create a copy that's a copy of a token that's a copy of Scoot Swarm.
If it just
Oh, man.
copied the tokens, I'd be like, wow, but it doesn't. It copies the card.
Yeah, exactly. It,
Gross.
it functions as its own miniature doubling season.
Ugh.
And I'm going to then copy it with lithoform.
And because of that, you know, it doubles exponentially.
Yeah.
So it gets out of hand very rapidly.
Well, let's not be crazy.
Math.
If I have 10 lands out and I have Scoot Swarm out and I scape shift, it's too much
Oh,
math
yeah.
for my brain.
That is exactly what I was thinking. Like,
So what I
Jesus.
love about Zendikar Rising, and we talked about it last week, but I just want to bring it up again. We are seeing so many cards that we've seen in previous Zendikar sets or previous sets that Wizards has come back around to like, hey, remember this card? Well, here it is again, but better. Like, you know, Scoot Swarm was Scoot Mob, which was still already
Good boogie.
Mhm.
yeah, it was already a good card anyway, but like it got better. Obviously, Omnath, same thing. Then, you know, Vampire Nighthawk, same
I'm
thing.
not being better, I would say, is objective. But yeah, sure.
No, he is better in ways. He's better than Omnath 3.
Yeah, he's better than Omnath 3, but not Omnath 1 and 2.
Omnath 1 is crazy.
Omnath 1
yeah.
is disgusting. Omnath 2 is so aggro. Omnath 3 is.
I have the
I'm not 3 is clearly the Tokyo Drift of the series. Like, let's be real here.
I'm just looking through the,
of all the
go ahead, sorry.
Omnath, I actually like the Teamer Omnath the best because
Me
it doesn't
too.
like it doesn't feel like we just care about lands, which is what Omnath typically does. It feels like you can do a little bit more because you have that elemental like tribal that you want to build around, which is nice. I'm not just land win.
Land.
Solidarity, sister.
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
out
You
of
have a couple different directions you can go with him.
Exactly.
out of every collector sets alternate art kind of things, I don't think I've been more excited for any of them than these ones. These are all wicked alternate frames. Even that one Brennan just talked about, the Morog, that alternate art is bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I know that you guys.
Yeah.
I know that you guys touched on it last week, but like, I need like 17 copies of that new Lotus Cobra. It looks incredible.
That Lotus Cobra in foil is gonna just change my life.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
absolutely.
I still think I like the Judge promo still.
Oh,
Still think that one.
Judge promo's good, but this one's real good. This in foil is just gonna look nuts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I'm not sure that
Even all the black ones look amazing too. Like I think my favorite is honestly Skyclave Shade because it has that nice like violet in the background of the moon, and it just God, these foilings are going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the alternate art that I'm looking forward to the most is the Landfall Cat enchantment. I forget what it's called, but that alternate art is going to be absolutely incredible.
I'm sorry, Landfall Cat.
Oh, did you not see that one, Hope?
No.
Oh, there's it
You
is
piqued my interest.
Felidar Retreat, 3 and a white. Whenever a land enters under your control, choose one. Create a 2/2 cat beast creature token, or put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. They gain vigilance till the end of the turn. I see it in your face, Hope. I'm also excited for this.
I'm so here.
Cat deck?
Oh yeah,
my cat deck and Atraxa.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's just one counters.
Yeah, I have Ren and Seri as well. Like this is going right in there.
I've been just like dying to make a Ren and Seri deck, and I'm just so ready for it now.
What's that card? I have not seen it yet. Or I do not have. No, I understand what card it is. I just have not had one.
And you never will.
Yeah,
we have one at work.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
that's the one I brought in.
we sold it. Anyways,
thanks
unrelated.
For thinking of me, guys.
Yeah. Over Sand Gaming Club. Wow.
We're gonna get into some of these late legendaries here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dante, I'll let you start off because I don't want to take away the one that you wanted the most.
Your
sure.
thunder.
Oh my goodness, this one's coming from the Zendikar Rising Commander decks. It's Anawan the Ruin Thief. Anawan the Ruin Thief. He is blue, black, and 2 for a legendary creature, Vampire Rogue. Other rogues you control get +1/+1, and whenever one or more rogues you control deal combat damage to a player, that player mills a card for each 1 damage dealt to them. And if that player mills at least 1 creature card, this way you draw a card. Like
that's gross.
Yeah, and a partridge in a pear tree. Or am I right?
It has so much built into it. Like it's got a draw engine, it's got an anthem, it mills people, so it annoys me. Like it's all there.
Well, and in its colors and Demir colors, like get out of town. It's so easy to make things unblockable. Also to make your rogues hit.
Yeah.
Rogue
so
tribal,
much of the
viable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They were supposed to be just like a really basic deck that was just supposed to replace the product. And these deck lists look awesome. Like
they were supposed to be intro level, and they're like, "Here's a $15 Moose Money Una."
Yeah,
that's disgusting.
Yeah, here's a $13 Moose Money Sig River Cutthroat, right? Like that makes up for the cost of the deck just in those 2 cards.
I know.
Yeah, our cost is $50 for both decks. Like that's nuts. There's no reason to not buy.
That is free.
With everyone calling it Moose Money, I think we should make a petition now.
Oh, I know. Somebody get in touch with like who prints money here.
It's USD to MSD now.
The Canadian Mint.
The Mint, yes.
Some monopoly money.
Yeah,
I'm curious if Anawan is going to be built a lot like Yuriko Tiger Shadow, because that's the kind of feel I got from it. Was like where you're not ninjutsu, where you're not ninjutsuing, you're still like, because it's rogues, you're going to want to use Prowl. And Prowl is a very, very cool mechanic, and it kind of functions the same way where you're attacking, and then after your creatures have been, after rogues dealt damage, you get to pay these Prowl calls, and a lot of these cards, they're very, very good for what they do with their Prowl calls. So that's that's the thing I saw with this.
Absolutely, I forget the name of the new Sphinx, but they have a new Sphinx Rogue that's coming exclusively in the Commander deck.
That one. That was a really cool one.
Enigma Thief.
Oh, it's called Enigma Thief. It's 5 and 2 blue Sphinx Rogue, 5/5 Prowl for 3 and 1. And Prowl, for anybody that doesn't know, you can cast it for its Prowl cross if you dealt combat damage to a player with a Sphinx or a Rogue in this, which is interesting. And then it's got flying, and whenever it enters the battlefield, for each opponent, return up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls to its owner's hand. So it's like a mini aggro.
It's you're going to be able to build this deck pretty strong if you want. Like I was talking initially about putting Bitter Blossom stuff like that in it. Like
they all make rogues.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot Una making rogues as well, but This is also just going to be a fun deck. This looks out of the box like a sleeve it up, play it deck. Like it's very focused. It does one thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that one thing is rogues.
I'm
Yeah.
so regretful that because we started a Commander League at our LGS, and I'm so regretful that I didn't just wait.
Yeah.
Because one of these would have been awesome.
Mhm.
to
Oh,
play in
absolutely,
our league.
absolutely.
Out of
Oh,
the
yeah.
box, they're nasty.
Yeah, out of
do
the
you
box,
have-
this looks pretty good.
Do you have that second one up there?
I do.
Oh yeah, if you can read what the other commander.
So the other
product was.
commander deck is the commander is Oboon Moldiah Ancestor. It's 1 red, green, white
Naya.
for Naya for a legendary elf spirit. 3/3 at the beginning of combat on your turn, up to 1 target land you control becomes an XX elemental creature with trample and haste, which is dope because usually it's just haste.
Mhm.
X is Oboon's power, and it's still a land. And landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. So I think obviously that seems that the point is buff Oboon,
Yeah, make
Yep.
your commander
Mhm.
beefy, and then
smash. You know,
oh, I have this land. Here.
what a vibe. And then one of the other I'm super stoked about this. Exclusives for this deck because there's only 3 new quote unquote new cards in each of the commander decks, notwithstanding cards from Zendikar Rising. But so one of the ones for this one is Trove Warden. It's 2 and 2 white for a cat beast. So I love it. For 3/4 with vigilance, landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, exile target permanent card with CMC to your left or your graveyard, and when it dies, each permanent exiled with it. Put each permanent exiled with it onto the battlefield under the control of that card's owner, which is interesting.
It's a cool card for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I like the exclusive ones there.
Me too.
I think, in my opinion, I think the best exclusive is in the Rogues deck, the Whisper Steel Dagger. When I saw that, I was on the fence about buying the decks in general, not because I don't think they're good, but I was just kind of hoping for a couple more cards since we were only getting 2 commander decks. I was thinking the land base might be just a little bit better, but Whisper Steel Dagger is probably my favorite of the new cards from the commander decks.
What is it?
It's 2 and a black for an equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may cast a creature card from that player's graveyard this turn, and you may spend mana as though it was any color to cast that spell, and it's equipped.
Oh, interesting.
oh yeah, it's super interesting.
Yeah, so with the we were talking about, obviously with Anawan, we're going to be making people mill only deal combat damage, and if something hits with Whispers still, you can just reanimate a creature from their graveyard. The big thing being able to spend your mana as though it was any color. Wizards have been doing that a lot lately, where they're putting that text. It was much harder to do that kind of stuff previously, but now they're just
I have to say, I think I prefer the you may pay mana as though it was any color rather than the free cast.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
Because
still
it's
have to earn it, right?
Yeah, exactly. You still have to earn it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'd rather not have someone come at me with a slither blade and then just automatically get a Sepulchral Primordial or something like that just out of my graveyard for free for for 3 mana to come down, 3 mana to equip. So 6 mana get something humongous out of my graveyard. I mean that feels real bad.
A turn 4 swing. You don't have any blockers, but we've milled you already. Oh, look, it's the best creature in your deck. I'm gonna cast that for free.
I was also going to note, I know, Zach, you said that you thought that the land bases might be better or you wanted them to be better. But I think that at the price, they're supposed to be an intro product. They're supposed to replace Planeswalker decks. So I don't think that it should necessarily be that much better. For the price that they're giving them to us, I think that the cards that they're putting in it, I think that that's the value, right?
25 Canadian dollars is what, 8 beans?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, I think that's...
I guess my thing was, too, is and I'm not downgrading the decks because there's a lot of really cool stuff. I was just if this is the year of the commander, would it have really killed you guys to give us a shock? You gave us shocks in the brawl decks. You couldn't give us just a watery grave and a stomping ground. And they're rotating out of standard anyways.
I'm gonna be honest, they can reprint the dual lands in brawl. I'm still not playing it.
No, absolutely. I mean, did I buy all the brawl decks just for the free shock lands? Yes, I did. But,
to buy the brawl decks just to make them into commander decks. Yes, yes, we did.
And that's all.
What was that, Brennan? You got lost in the mix.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Naya deck. I don't think it's worth.
It's the weaker one for
Oh,
sure.
totally.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
but even like the rogue decks like seems like super fun. It's like probably a little narrow, but like they reprinted Dimir Keyrune and Dimir Locket. Like, why couldn't you just slot the talismans back in?
Yeah, the
that's
talismans would have been a great addition.
that's what I was
Feel that.
yeah, that's what I was gonna jump on as well. It's like, I mean, in addition to the land base being like a little bit upgraded, like sure, like I'm gonna see Dismal Backwater in there, like whatever. This is what I expect from WotC at this point. But like, why not Dimir Signet? Like why not Dimir Signet? Why not Talisman of Dimir, whatever the heck it's called?
I think it's Vengeance, maybe.
you know-
Or Vengeance.
Dimir Signet is in the rogue deck.
Is it?
Oh, wait, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, I did not know that. I thought it was just the
It's like
Keyrune and the
a-
Locket.
notable reprints. It's apparently $3 US. So
Oh
That's-
wow. Okay.
$6.
Well, I stand
Yeah.
corrected.
Yeah.
Now say
There's
now I look like an idiot on the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
well,
Hey!
probably isn't the first time, Dante. Don't worry about it.
I mean,
This
I
is
wasn't
not the
talking,
first
I brought
time.
up the deck list.
In fairness, there's no way to keep track of what they're spoiling. Like, I'm sure by the end of this episode, they'll be like, new secret layer, landfall edition.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I said, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. It was just kind of like I
But you
get
are
where-
complaining.
I am.
No. I'm just
definitely
kidding.
sound
Like, if it's supposed to be an intro product too,
I
Shocklands are rotating out. Why couldn't you give us just one each for new players to get used to it? And that's all I'm saying. Like,
Mhm.
Because they're rotating out and go buy them at your LGS, I guess. I don't know.
At the same time, as an intro product, it is introducing new players to how badly we need reprints of
that's
Dimir
true.
Talisman and stuff.
Yep.
So you just get
Oh,
the
yeah.
new players right into Wizards printing bad cards.
Yeah. Don't get too
Mhm.
excited.
I do
Oh,
think, honestly, though, that based on like what an average deck looks like, the rogue deck looks like it can sit down at a normal table pretty
Right out of the
fine.
box.
Yeah.
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 The other thing that I like about this as an intro product is that with it, like I said, replacing like Planeswalker decks and stuff like that, like that'll hit all the colors. It still hits all the colors.
Do they have Soul Ring?
These ones?
in these
I think
decks? Yeah.
each one has Soul Ring and Arcane Signet.
That's bonkers.
That's $6. That's
crazy.
That's $14.
So
If
I
it
think
was money.
like Daniel was mentioning with these decks yesterday when we were at our LGS that the commander decks that came out in Ikoria weren't really focused, and where these ones coming out they're more focused on the task. It's not like, oh well.
Well, because
this-
they have one general,
Yeah.
they have one objective, and this is it, and it can be very streamlined and very on theme. Whereas it's not trying to hit 3 themes
The
in one deck.
Well, the Ikoria decks, they brought so many cool things to the table, but we were
Mhm.
talking like the Kethril deck, for example. Tam is amazing. Tam
Oh, yeah.
sucks in that deck. There's like nothing generated around him. Like
Yeah.
if you play the precon with Tam, it's
Mhm.
not worth it. There's pretty much nothing you can trigger in it.
Mhm.
It's not good. I just built Tam and I was like, oh, I only took Tam out of the deck. I've made a new deck,
Yeah.
right?
I think as far as commander decks go, at least from like what I was, because I was recently looking at like all the precons,
Yep.
and I think the 2018 Planeswalker ones have the best like secondaries that fit in the theme.
yeah.
Oh,
Other than
absolutely.
that,
Well, even Calamax and Halden and Paco are extremely different decks.
yeah,
Like no
they're
one
not
would build
the
them the
deck.
same.
No, it's just not even like it's just not even the same deck.
No, yeah,
I do-
and what's his face? Otrimi the Ever Playful. Like,
Yep.
like I don't care how many other legendaries you throw in there. Like, I'm not running a mutate deck with anybody except for Otrimi at the helm.
Well,
because
well,
like, why
exactly,
would
right.
you?
And when you look at Kaz or Nukima, they have nothing to do with mutate like at all. Like they're
Yeah.
food chain commanders.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, like the only one that's kind of
Whale
interchangeable
shark.
is the only interchangeable one really is like maybe Jarina and then the Trin and Silvar, because like at least both care
Yeah, humans.
about
Oh, yeah.
like things in one
attacking.
form or another.
Well, there's
Mhm.
not much more that Marty wants to do other than just
But
hit.
still, like my Jarina deck and my Trin and Silvar deck are
Totally
super
different.
different decks too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's valid.
I did like that these two commander decks were much more focused. It makes, like, for it being an intro product, it makes it much easier to, as a new player, to help like upgrade these decks and continue. Like, you already have this path that's pretty like set for you, so you can continue to make it better. And we did get better reprints, I think, because of it, because they weren't just shoving everything they could in that seemed like it was just value. We were getting Ona and Sig and all that stuff. So it is cool. I'm just always
Nah.
Well, and
a little bit better.
another thing to it is it's really easy with those other commander decks. Picking it up as a new player, it would be really confusing of where do I go with this? What do I make? these are very upgradable on your own. Like you can, like you said, the decks do one thing. This Naya thing cares about landfall and making the commander big. It's what works with those cards, right? The same with rogues.
Yeah.
It cares about rogues. It cares about maybe some mill stuff.
Yeah, like you could go to like the internet and just go onto like the Gather and be like mill
or rogue.
Rogue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can go in so many different ways with it. Yeah,
and like all these cards will come up that are synergistic. You know, it makes it a lot easier. I think
99 lands with my commander.
I'm actually gonna pick up the rogue one because there's a lot of like black goblins from Lorwyn block that either like make rogues or do stuff when rogues deal combat damage. So I think that'd be like a cool sub-theme, and you can make a lot more black goblin rogue tokens. Which
that's a free tip from your friends at Into the 99. Go through the Lorwyn block. That's where you're gonna find stuff that you need for this.
What I do like about the commander decks as they have them printed for this set is that it really does reward you for just cracking packs. They did a very good job. Like the Ikoria commander decks, like you guys said, they're kind of all over the place. Whereas like if I just went out and bought a pack of Ikoria, depending on what commander deck I got for that, that year or that set, it doesn't necessarily mean my pack that I'm opening is going to have anything to do with the commander deck.
Work with it.
Whereas that's a good point.
There are a lot of rogues.
Yeah, like
there's a lot of rogues and there's a lot of landfall.
Like I bought 2 boxes of Ikoria, and I was going through trying to upgrade my Otrimi deck, and like the commons and uncommons that like the list was calling for, I didn't even have them in my 2 boxes. I was like, what is this?
Common? Oh my goodness.
It's just like,
This is a trend I hope we see more, is that like we get rewarded for like just wanting to crack packs, because there are just some people that like cracking packs. I have a bunch of friends.
Well, and especially because you'll be able to crack set boosters, right? So if you want, like, not that is to say that if you get a set booster that it's like synergy and its theming doesn't really hit what you're trying to hit, you're kind of hooped.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know that like if you're gonna buy a box of set boosters as opposed to a box of draft boosters, it puts you in a little bit of a better position in that regard.
I feel like you're more likely this time around to crack a pack and have something that'll have value, not necessarily financial value, but value and playability.
Well, and then it is making everything more accessible.
I was gonna say with regards to these commander decks, I also hope that we see this kind of like steering for how they build them. Not necessarily for all the decks. I would still like to see decks with different face options, but it's nice to see that this sort of streamlined direction is an option. Even if they did it but didn't have like all reprints, that would be cool too. If they did like a new deck with some reprints, but it was just one commander. So it kind of makes me excited for what they decide to do with the Commander Legends ones.
I was definitely wrong about one of the commanders. I hate Tazri, like I said, but I have seen so many people just excited about building it, and they're like, "Oh, I love this party mechanic. It's like really cool. It's Tazri party deck," and I was wrong. So
party time.
Way more people like Tazri than I thought.
Yeah, well, and it's just especially because. Let's be honest, like there's a lot of crossover between people that play Magic and people that play D&D.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so there's so that mechanic really resonates with people that like that sort of vibe, right? So
of course.
They really should open up that party option though. You're only leaving it to four classes.
Well, I think they're gonna expand it
in the D&D set.
Yeah.
Give me multi-classing. If they give me a mechanic of multi-classing, I will lose my mind.
Multi-class commander
in standard.
Yep. Oh man.
I think the one thing that I'm kind of excited, or that like I'm kind of happy for, is that there's no pre-release bans as of yet.
Yeah.
Well, pre-release bans, I think it's only ever happened for Lutri.
Wasn't there 2 cards from the last set that got banned right before?
No, I think it was just Lutri.
It was just Lutri, yeah.
So
it was Lutri and then the whole companion mechanic, which they had to overhaul.
Lightning Otter. They're just like, wait a second, this was a mistake.
This is
Before we go on, I have to touch on just the nightmare that is the Lithoform engine.
Oh, this was absolutely
man.
Yeah, their head judge has changed it so that it's not creating a token. So you're not creating a token, so it won't interact with Doubling Season or Parallel Lives or anything else. Yeah, anything you create as the token permanent, it's like, oh, it's a token spell on the stack.
What?
Oh goodness gracious!
So honestly, like they put that tweet up, and there's like everyone was like, "Are you sure? Like this seems like you don't understand the rules."
Yeah, I saw that and I put in our general discussion because I was like, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think, like I was talking to the owner of our LGS. I was like, "There's no way this got through playtesting," and no one was like, "I'm just gonna make Doubling Season and then another Doubling Season." There's no way. No, anyone who saw this card, they're like, "Well, that needs to make another Doubling Season." But like, yeah, because that's I personally, the rule seems so weird. Like it interacts like a token. If it goes to the grave, it'll be exiled.
If it looks like a token and it sounds like a token.
It says token on the card. You can target it with token. Things like Brutaclad can target the token.
A token has always been a token.
Yeah.
Except for in this situation, they're like,
but not now. Just kidding. This
sounds
ain't
like
it.
a duck, quacks like a duck.
yeah.
It's a bird.
Yeah.
It sounds like a duck,
ostrich.
quacks like a duck. It's not getting doubled. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is certainly really weird. Like, and I don't understand why WotC insists on saying like, "Oh, we only test for standard and draft." Like, you clearly just need a commander player in there.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
like any commander player
also-
would have looked at that and been like, "Hey, look at that Doubling Season, Anointed Procession, anything." And
What?
Yeah.
You can't tell me that you don't think about commander. That's all this year has been.
We
No,
actually we only test for standard. We don't think about commander players.
Nobody plays
Here's
standard,
the box
especially in
toppers that are
person.
not standard legal that all the commander players want.
yeah, exactly.
Have an alt art with Malakut, you monsters.
Sorry?
The card itself was spoiled on MTG Goldfish, and like when Seth was doing the like just talking about the card, he immediately brought up Anointed Procession.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, this would be a great card to
So
double.
did we. Like when we were talking just like among ourselves, like it was like obviously that's the choice. Obviously.
Well, how did no one understand this?
Oh, they did.
Because this
It's,
is, from what they were saying in the tweet, this is the first time they've printed a card that's like this, that works and then functions this way. And because of that, they had to basically come out and explain, like, this is how it is meant to function. Even though it reads this way, it doesn't
So
work
stupid.
this way.
yeah, basically they're like, hey,
If you have any level of reading comprehension, don't.
we were like, there was a few judges at the store too yesterday, and we were like all just talking about ourselves.
And they're like, what do you mean?
they're like, no, it worked that way. I'm like, according to
That's
this guy,
wrong.
it doesn't.
According to your boss.
yeah.
Literally in brackets after it says copy target permanent spell you control, it says that copy becomes a token.
Yep.
So just
But they're like,
like
it becomes, but it's not created. But like our LGS store is
But it
like,
has to be
he's
created
just
to
like,
become.
but it is a token. He's like, because I'm not putting a second Doubling Season down.
Yes.
I was gonna say I don't have a first Doubling Season to put down. Like, sure as heck don't have a second.
It seems like such a strange card to have printed. Like every interaction that you can think of with it is just made possible.
Brutal.
It's like Rings of Bright Hearth. It copies spells. It makes
Yep,
Brian another Ristic Study followed by another Smothering Tide.
Do you
Hey, do you
pay
play-
the 4?
Yeah, do you pay the 4
Mhm.
for the draw, 4 for the cast?
I'd rather die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So.
it's too good, but apparently you can't double tokens, but that would break it.
But then there's also the Mirror Maid and the other ones that are they're 2 drops and count or copy target enchantment. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll pay 4 and double that.
Get
and
another one of those.
I will
and
have this come in as a Ristic Study and this second one come in as a Ristic Study.
Oh man.
Like,
yeah.
Are you
But they're
going
not
to pay
tokens.
the 3? for
Yeah,
that one
Adrian was trying to
No.
get around it just to make a Doubling Season token and then put Brutaclad in the deck, and then I'll turn all of my
Make all of your.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm
Man,
gonna
I-
make 75 Doubling
you can still
Seasons.
populate them, right?
Man,
Yeah.
I can't wait to like Sahili's
Could you
artistry
not?
this
Yeah,
thing.
you can populate them, right?
I think you can only populate creatures. I don't know.
I think you can
Oh.
only
I thought it
populate
was
tokens,
token.
but I'm not a judge.
So if this is a token, I should be able to.
Yeah, populate is you can choose any creature token you control,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
but you
But-
can still second harvest it.
What's second harvest?
All right,
Put a
so
token-
turn
put a
silver
copy of
gold,
every token you have.
turn it into a creature, then double it.
Yeah, the enchantment that turns all enchantments into creatures.
What is that? Starfield and Nyx?
No.
Opalescence.
Yeah,
Opalescence.
Opalescence. Oh, and Starfield and Nyx too.
I think the simple answer here is you just Brutaclad because you do
Putting
something.
a second Starfield.
We're
of Mix
making
on
it a
the field,
teamer deck, boys.
Yep.
there's it's a
We
good
will
card.
find a way around
It's a
it.
good
Don't
card
test
no
me,
matter how they
wizards.
no matter how they try to be like, guys, don't break this card. Like
Mhm.
We're gonna do it.
And the
Oh, yeah.
EGs, they're like, how am I going
Oh,
to
yeah.
do this?
I mean, yeah, I think the thing that gets me about this card, like just from a design perspective, is wasn't it like 6 months ago where WotC said like, yeah, we're gonna stray away from making really powerful colorless artifacts because of exactly like this reason. It goes in literally every single deck. And
that's
now-
what I said. I can't
Yeah.
think of a single deck that doesn't benefit from this card in one form or another.
Every deck is better with
Hey,
it.
yeah, I'll pay 4 mana and make a second mana reflection.
you-
Why not?
If you have permanents in your deck, it's better for it.
If
No,
you
yeah.
don't have permanents in your deck and it's all spells,
It's better for
congratulations, it also works.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna set the over under at like 7 months before this thing gets the ban hammer. Like,
They didn't print the accept mana abilities thing, which is they've caught that on every other card, but they're like, copy whatever you want, guys.
Yeah,
Just let's
activate
see
a
what
trigger.
it
We
is.
don't care.
So I'm just thinking,
Priest
like,
of Titania.
putting these in like, colorless decks, like, oh, I'm going to copy my Kozilek.
Well, Planeswalker alts are triggered or activated abilities, so why don't I just make that second Will Kenrith Emble? Why don't I?
Emble.
Emble.
mhm.
I'm having
You
a brain
copy
emble.
emblems.
Okay, we need
Yeah.
emblem removal, guys. We need, like,
Ooh,
Yeah,
I'll
we
make
absolutely need
emblems.
emblem removal.
So
Fun.
Yeah, that'd be great. Why
So,
not, right?
Me, a bad person, immediately goes to Mixless.
There
Do we
was
want to
a
get
few-
into any? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to overtalk you.
Oh no worries. I was gonna say there's just a few other legendaries I did want to touch on.
Yeah.
Um,
while we're off squirreling.
I promised Zach that he could start with this the cleric because he likes it. to
I'm
say the least.
super excited about this card. So this is the buy a box promo. If you guys listened to our last episode, then we talked about how they went back to doing what Wizards used to do, where the buy a box promo is a card that can be obtained in the set. It just has special art that you can only get from the buy a box. So the buy a box promo is Aura Sky Cleave Hierophant. It's 2 white and a black. It's a core cleric. It's a 3/3. They have lifelink, and whenever Aura or another cleric you control dies, return target cleric card with lesser CMC from your graveyard to the battlefield.
This card, I started playing in Scourge, Onslaught, and Legion.
Yep.
And the cleric tribal that you were able to build out of that was insane. And now I'm just like, oh, I'm going to build a cleric deck now. Battlefield Medic, where are you?
Mm-hmm. I say Edgewalker, where are you? Yeah.
Oh, Edgewalker, $30 already.
This is a really, really cool one. I love both artworks. They both look really great.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna have to build a cleric deck now. I really enjoyed it. Just like, oh, I'm gaining all of this life because the Soul Sisters are clerics as well.
Mhm.
I'm so excited because I can finally use Edgewalker. It's so good, and I
What do you
wanted
mean
to
finally use? There's you could have
No
already
one's
made an
stopping
amazing
you,
deck.
Zach.
Clerics aren't good now.
Who
clerics-
has you under duress? My brother-in-law would care to disagree.
Because there's that black cleric that you can. I think it's like you tap it or pay a CMC and sacrifice. I think 3 clerics to go and find like this big 6/6 demon.
Oh, you mean Shadowborn Apostle?
Shadowborn
Yeah.
Apostle, yeah. $4 each copy. You can have as many of them as you want in a deck. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
My
and
thing
then just go ahead and bring them all back because
Yeah.
Why not?
Bring them all back, cast them for free with Edgewalker.
And then what's the enchantment? Is Liliana's whatever?
Liliana's
Well,
contract.
Yeah.
You have 4 demons.
Thank you.
Hey, demons, it's your boy.
Yeah.
My thing was when I saw this card spoiled, it plays very much like how I like playing Magic, where I'm doing graveyard shenanigans and it's an aristocrat style build, and it just has lifelink on it, so it's like all the stuff I like. So
It's
I
doing
know
graveyard, it's doing Orzhov.
Mhm.
you said what?
I said it's doing graveyard, it's doing Orzhov. It's
Splash
gaining
some
life.
green in there, and Zach's buying every copy.
I'm just
Yeah,
like thinking to myself,
green
like,
for
rest in
some-
peace.
Yeah.
If that's what I had green for some reason, I would have
Mess with
man,
everyone.
I've lost my mind. But like, I didn't really like. I've not really looked up the cleric tribe before, so I started looking, and there are so many good clerics that I just didn't know existed or didn't realize that they were clerics. And not to mention the support we're getting in here. Like we get a plague crafter cleric, like that's nuts. There's just there's so many good things. This card I'm super excited about, and everyone who buys a box is going to have access to it, which means anyone who opens this card is most likely going to get rid of it, and everyone's going to have access to it. And I love that kind of stuff. It's a good deck. It's going to be very fun to play, and it's going to be one of those commanders I think that's going to probably be a more popular Orzhov commander. And with us going and doing the the D&D set coming up, now that they're getting back into class race, I guarantee we're going to see even more clerics.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
There's one I wanted to touch on really quickly here. It's the Verazal, the Split Current. It's Prosh-like ability, and I'm really happy to see them bringing stuff like that back. There is no point to play this in Standard. It's not good in Standard, but in Commander, very good. Yeah. It's X and Simic for a 0/0 Serpent. It enters with a 1/1 counter on it for each mana spent to cast, so Commander tax doesn't bug it. Whenever you cast a kick spell, you can remove 2, the Commander tax, from it. And if you do copy that spell, you may choose new targets for the copy. That's like a really, really cool Simic-based commander to constantly cast.
There are 2 of these multicolor legendaries that I'm actually really excited for. If I could quickly hit them.
Yeah,
So the first one is Kaza Royal Chaser. So it's just Izzet colors. So Izzet, blue and red. For a 1/2 legendary human wizard with flying and haste, tap the next instant or sorcery you cast this turn costs X less to cast for X's number of wizards you control as this ability resolves.
I love it. It's a very cool wizard.
Wizards
I
broken.
Yeah, and I do like the specific wording with as this resolves. I think that's really interesting. So
this would be really, really good for Anala. But also just as its own standalone wizard deck, this is a really cool commander.
I like that you can tap it immediately with the haste.
You have 8 wizards. Let's cast a 3 mana Enter the Infinite and see what's up.
Well, and I like that because it has haste, you can tap it right away. But I also like that it has flying, so it gives it a little bit of evasion.
Yeah.
So even if you do have it tapped, you don't have to worry about it so much.
Yeah, I also am just a big fan of the art on this. She's just like surfing on like a Nimbus 3000. It's
awesome.
Freaking cool.
Yeah.
Quidditch, but for drug addicts.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Quidditch on acid. And then the other one is obviously because I'm just a lover of Golgari. I don't know. I was going to put that a very different way. If you want to hear me to say what I really meant, I'll be on stream. It's Grakma, Skyclave Ravager. So it's a legendary Hydra 0/0, a Hydra horror. Very interesting. So it enters the battlefield with 3 1/1s on it. Whenever another creature you control dies, if it had a 1/1 counter on it, put a 1/1 counter on Grakma. And when Grakma dies, create an XX black and green Hydra creature token where X is the number of 1/1 counters on Grakma, which is very cool, especially like if you have the Ozilus, so then you keep the counters, move the counters, still get an extra counter. Very neat. I'm in a little bit of a
let me jump in with this.
Hit it.
I just built Team. Whenever creatures enter, puts a vigilance counter on it. Grakma enters with 3 counters on it, meaning that it will always have 4 counters. With the Phyrexian Altar out, if I pay 3 and remove 2 1/1 counters and his vigilance counter, he's still a 1/1, which will sacrifice for 2 mana, and then I can bring him back with Team, and I will make another one. So with Phyrexian Altar, Grakma, Team, I can go through my entire deck and generate infinite mana
and have a ton of black hydras.
I was trying to make this a chill deck. I was trying to have a fun time, and then they're just like, "Hey, do you want a combo piece for that?" I'm like, "Well, I guess."
I guess.
I literally built the day after I put it together. I put it together, and they're like, "I'm gonna break that deck for you."
Oh yeah,
all right.
It's like, thanks. I hate it.
So we got past it really quickly, but I just wanted to go back to Verazal. So something that's really cool about this card, we have that was right here, Skyclave Relic. We talked about it last week. So whenever you kick it, you get 2 additional token copies of it. So if you were to play, you have Verazal and then you play Skyclave Relic and then remove the counters, you're getting an additional copy, which you'll get 6 mana of any color essentially.
Mhm.
I saw that interaction. I thought it was really cool, but we moved.
Kicker seems like a fun travel to go down the rabbit hole of.
Yes.
And
it seems weird.
They really put a lot of it in, especially with that like maddening cacophony.
Yeah.
I like to say words like that to make them angry.
So stupid.
Oh.
But it's they're just like, hey, you want traumatized to be better?
Mm-hmm.
We got you.
Absolutely.
So go ahead.
Have we talked about Akiri Fearless Voyager yet?
Nope.
Okay, so Akiri
That
Fearless
is
Voyager.
how she's pronounced. Wow. Thank you for noting that just
Akiri?
correctly.
It is most certainly not Akari. Like that's
It most certainly is not.
It's just fun to raise
It
blood
has
pressure.
normally when names don't normally bother me. So, sorry to interrupt and be rude, but like names, because essentially all of these names are not real.
Yeah.
Like just because they're language conventions means literally nothing, because these names don't exist. So they can say that they're pronounced however they want them to be pronounced.
Just
Anya?
because it was in the trailer.
But it was in the trailer.
Doesn't mean that Wizards pronouncing it right.
It's the same issue. Yes, they are.
Oh yeah, I mean, like they created the character. I'm pretty sure they get to decide how it's pronounced.
Issue that I had with Angie versus Anya, and I'm like, don't call it that.
It's
Get out of my
Anya.
house.
It is not Anya.
Anyways.
Anyways,
now
yeah.
that I've brought down
Yes.
that
Yes,
tangent
please,
that
continue.
didn't matter.
Continue with Akiri.
Akiri Fearless Voyager, red, white, and 1 for a legendary creature core warrior, 3/3. Whenever you attack a player with 1 or more equipped creatures, draw a card, folks. Like this is card draw in Boros. Like we are finally getting there.
It's
And then
the
the
end game.
kicker on that is
Brandon, like, no.
So the
Brennan,
kicker on
get
that
it
is
out of here. I hate it.
oh god, it's great. So you pay a white, you can unattach an equipment from a creature you control. If you do, tap that creature and it gains indestructible until end of turn. Like I'm a little bit less excited about that, but like holy buckets, people. Like card draw in Boros for something that Boros wants to do as well.
So
this just makes SRAM another color.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like it still requires that you attack, which is it's a very very Boros thing. And the key thing on that phrasing is when you attack a player. So you're not going to go ahead and get multiple triggers for. Well, at least I don't think you're going to get multiple triggers for attacking the same player with multiple equipped creatures. I think it benefits you to go ahead and attack 3.
So what if when I first saw this card spoiled, I immediately thought obviously we want a haste enabler, but what about living weapons?
Yeah.
They come in with haste, they can attack and then they die or whatever. And they equip them.
Cares? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brendan, you're a bad person. I like that. You know what? You're a pretty cool guy.
This is a cool
You can say this is a really cool place.
I really do like the living weapons in this. I mean, equipment commanders are far and few in between, and I'm happy to see Akiri come back in a non-partner way and just be able to go ahead and really get the ball rolling on something aggressive, because at the very least, you go ahead and you get your artifacts back to your hand through. Somehow, white has all those blink abilities. You can get your living weapons back to your hand, throw them back down, and then start to try to refill your hand. This is really solid design. I'm loving where Wizards is going for the future of red and white. And they're just oh, look at that! We're not just going to beat face and leave you without any gas for the next 17 turns.
Well, one other nice thing is if you did have to take an equipment off of something to make it indestructible, then you can +1 Nahiri and make a core warrior and put that equipment right back onto it, and then you still have an equipped creature, which is pretty.
Oh yeah.
I'm to be honest, I'm ramming this into Sir Gwen. Remove it for 1 to make it indestructible and re-equip for 0 anytime.
Done and done.
Well, there's also Tiana Ship's Caretaker.
That's one of Sherman's favorite decks. Yeah.
Put it back in your hand. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really bad living weapons.
Yeah.
I
mean, God! Everybody and their dog has a Batterskull now.
Box topper Batterskull.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Actually,
This is the first Boros deck I'm actually excited to like build. I've never had any want or desire to build Boros, and this one I'm actually like,
Blasphemy.
I love Boros.
Oh god, Boros is the best.
Well, and it's already good with that new
All right.
land card. Or
Yeah, they're putting some silly stuff in.
Yep.
There's a few other ones. This Linvala, it's not as good as old Linvala, but it's Linvala Shield of the Seagate. The art's great. It's 1 and Azorius for a 3/3 Angel Wizard flying at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you have a full party, choose target non-land permanent opponent controls. Until your next turn, it can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Sack it, choose hexproof or indestructible. Creatures you control gain that ability till the end of the turn.
Here's the thing. It's still pretty good, especially when you consider that Linvala is a wizard as well.
Yeah.
So she's one piece of the puzzle already, which is nice. And also, if you're building around party, this will be very good.
A very good one. It's just, to me, like I said, again, with my problem with Tazri, is that old Linvala significantly stronger.
Old Linvala had more applications,
Yeah.
right? So like that's the thing. Same with old Tazri, it has more applications. But like I said, like if you're building around this mechanic, this is going to be an automatic slotting. Because like in my opinion, if you're making a commander deck that's going to be party based, so you're going to put Tazri at the helm and you're going to slot Linvala in.
Oh yeah, that's exactly it.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm working on a Niambi Reanimator deck in Azorius, right? And she cares about legendary creatures. And I actually like this Linvala quite a bit because her the ability to sacrifice her to choose either indestructible or hexproof is very strong, especially for 3 mana. You know, like it makes me. I don't always like in blue. I don't like playing counter spells all that often, depending on the deck. So having the option to just protect my creatures without having to counter someone's like wrath or something is awesome.
I also find that when you do something like that, if somebody's trying to wreck the board and you just protect yourself, they're like, oh, well, I mean, that's too bad. But if you counter someone, then they come for you. You know, it's a totally different vibe.
It's true.
Brennan, do you want to do this Zareth?
Sorry, which one?
The Merfolk Rogue.
The dead one?
Oh yeah, the guy that died in the trailer.
The guy that literally didn't make it past the announcement.
Zareth?
Yeah, that's the one, you know, when Nahiri and Akiri and it's Zareth. And they're when she's got the weird orb thingy, he dies.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real.
It is real. Look it up. I dare you.
Zareth's son.
Yes.
The trick there is 3 in a blue and a black for a 4/4 with flash. You can pay 2 in Demir. Return an unblocked attacking rogue you control to its owner's hand. Put Zareth's San from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may put target permanent card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control.
It's Merfolk Road Ninjutsu.
Rogue Jitsu, I'm so excited. This is going right into the Animal on the Ruin Thief deck.
Oh yeah, duh.
I thought it was really cool, but I was also kind of upset that they're just like, what can rogues do? Ninjutsu? Sure.
Yeah, what do rogues do?
Yeah, whatever.
Ninja stuff? They both stealth, right?
So yeah, I admit that when this guy was spoiled, I was a little bit underwhelmed because I thought to myself, like, okay, like this guy isn't really going to be a great commander because he doesn't have commander rogue jitsu. So
if he had it from command zone or tap, that'd be super cool. But I also didn't see the hype on it until they
put commander rogue jutsu. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Can we mute Dante?
I mean, you totally can. It's okay. It's 8:15 in the morning. I'll go right back to sleep.
Mute him or not, he's still speaking the truth.
I mean, it's true. But yeah, like as soon as Anawa was spoiled, I was like, okay, like this is where this guy is going. Like he's never going to be the helm of your rogue deck, but he's absolutely going to be the lieutenant that you want.
Well, you're also in the same colors as like Arcane Adaptation and Conspiracy to make all your creatures whatever creature type you want.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's also changelings and like you're gonna get this ability off. But yeah, I don't think it's the head of your or the helm of your deck. Really.
And you're gonna be stealing something from.
I've seen a lot of people talking about Morophon Shapeshifter Party.
Ooh, fun!
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh
Do we
yeah.
have more? Interesting.
Yeah.
There's two others left. One is Zagras, Thief of Heartbeats. It's 4 in Rakdos for a 4/4 vampire rogue. Also cares about the party mechanic. 1 less for each creature in your party, so potentially 2 mana. Flying Death Touch Haste. Other creatures you control have Death Touch, which is just a nuts ability.
And it's Planeswalker.
And whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a Planeswalker, destroy that Planeswalker.
Planeswalker Death Touch.
I don't like Super Friends, so
I really like this. I don't think that it's going to be like super like objectively good, but I think it's a good slot in. If for nothing else, the Flying Death Touch hates other creatures have Death Touch. That's pretty nasty.
Well, I'm going to shove it in Kelsey.
Right into my vampires.
Yeah, this is going to be in the deck that whenever I play against Lewis and he wants to play his Wall Super Friend deck.
Yeah, stupid Teferi,
Yep.
Teferi,
Kill the
Teferi, Teferi,
Teferis.
Teferi.
Anti-Lewis.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
It really is.
And then I did want to take this last one. It's
Yasharn.
Yasharn.
The forest big.
Yasharn is awesome. So it's 2 and Simic for an elemental boar 4/4.
That's not Simic at all.
Not Simic.
Simic.
Mad
Selesnya, green-white. The
Yes.
other Civic. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic forest card and a basic plains, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. So really, really good thing to bounce.
Love it.
But players can't pay life or sack non-land permanents to cast spells or activate abilities. Smothering Tides, goodbye.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Suck, Brian. Oh no.
If I see this across the table from me when I'm playing Trin and Sylvar, I'm just going to scoop up my cards.
I didn't even think about how bad it is against Trin and Sylvar.
So funny.
When I saw this card spoiled and it was legendary, I was instantly like, why?
You have an Ashnod? That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Cares.
I have a bunch of decks that I want to put it in. I wouldn't make it a commander, but like putting it in like Karametra. Ooh.
Oh,
This
God.
Get a Plains Forest, get more Plains Forests.
Just this one card shuts down so many of my decks. If it's just a creature, I can deal with it. But if it's a commander, it becomes so obnoxious.
Well, it also shuts down a lot of competitive stuff that focuses on going sacking stuff, and also gaining life so they can Aetherflux.
Yep.
I'm like, that's crazy.
Well, any of the pay.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of Aetherflux.
Yeah, no Aetherflux for you.
Oh,
Aether,
God.
nothing.
Man, I've just I've got a guy in my playgroup who plays Alayla, Artful Provocateur, and he usually like combos off with Divining Top and Bolas of Citadel, and then finishes everyone off with Aetherflux.
Well,
I would
not
love to
anymore.
just I would
He's not
love to
Bolas
be able to
Citadel.
just go ahead and do this. Oh God,
That would be really funny.
yeah, just flash it in during his upkeep. Oh God, that would be amazing.
Well, any of the as additional cost pay X life? Nope. It does still let you crack Terramorphic Expanse. You're still good there.
Yeah. What more could you possibly want?
Yeah, they're not shutting down the fetches.
Yeah.
Give us the
gotcha.
fetches, take them
I
away.
know what's on everybody's mind right now. There's 24 boars in Selesnya colors.
It is on everyone's mind.
Is there
Or
actually
tribal.
Is there
Or
20?
tribal is
There are
viable.
24 according to Scryfall.
Oh man, is that including shapeshifters?
It is not. So there's even
Oh,
more.
okay.
Thank you for this beautiful news, Brennan. I don't know why you're into like weird janky tribal stuff, but I love it. You're just like take the weirdest tribes, and Minotaur's finally got some good stuff, and now you have to find a new pet project.
Yeah.
Minotaurs, boars.
Same vibe.
The last thing I did want to touch on here before we do our outro talks and stuff is all of these pathways. I just kind of want everyone's opinion on them. I'm not going to name them all. All of them they're each of the guild colors, and they flip. You choose what land you want, untapped. They at least don't have the land types of like go get an island, go get a.
Yeah.
That would have been insane. That would have been step under dual land good.
Yeah, a very short step.
Yeah, like that'd be too good. We'll go in order here. Zach, your pathway thoughts.
I really like them. I like the fact that like we see a lot of commander players play like these scry lands, and I think these are already what you replace the scry lands with, because 9 times out of 10 you're wanting the option to either go one color. You know, having both is great, but being able to just be like, well, I know I need more black in my deck, or I have more green pips in my deck, so I'm going to go ahead and play this. And you know, being able to sacrifice the land to the graveyard, then pull it back in your hand. You can switch, like in Windgraves or in Get Rog Monster, that kind of stuff. These lands can be whatever you need them to be. I really like them. I think it's a really neat way that Wizards kind of got around the dual land thing.
Yeah. Dante?
I like them. My biggest criticism of them is that we don't have all 10. We've got all the enemy colors plus Selesnya. I would love all the rest of the allied colors.
Maybe we'll get the rest of them in Legends.
No, I guarantee they're coming in the D&D set.
Oh yeah. So, but yeah, I absolutely love these things. Like just going off of what Zach said, the like in addition to sacrificing them and recurring them, I mean also like the Ravnica bounce lands, like. Most budget players will go ahead and will play at least 1 or 2 bounce lands in their decks, and this is fantastic. Like you need green this turn, you go ahead and you play it. You need white the next turn. It's going to be fantastic. Yeah. I really like the design space in here, and it's going to save me from having to go ahead and like buy a plateau. I could just go ahead and get my Needle Verge pathway, and everything will be fine.
It's true. You wait your turn.
I just have something to add that I know is valid.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's not about my feelings.
Hope puts her hands up.
Me. Well, normally we don't have video. No, I was gonna say I'm wrong because I know I was reading an article. I don't know if it was Rosewater or who it was, but they were talking about how the double face and the modal things were kind of a test that they were doing, and they wanted to see how people would like them. And then so they're just like, oh, well, we'll do like ones that really matter about lands in Zendikar, and then we're gonna do other ones in Call Time, and like so who knows?
Oh, Call Time's gonna have some.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna be. They're not gonna be like lands,
but they're gonna
have like modal double faced cards. So, anyways, next person's turn, not mine.
Brennan.
Hello. So, I like them so long as they keep them like they keep printing them. I think like the commander decks recently, like people complain about the mana base, and like we get those weird like signet lands for no reason that everyone just throws in garbage. So if they can keep like printing these and keeping the cost down, I think they're fantastic. If this is the only printing ever, they're just gonna skyrocket for no reason, and no one will ever be able to play them.
Yeah,
that's very valid.
Brian is the next in line. Hope.
I don't know what these are.
What?
Do you actually not?
No.
Oh,
they're double face cards. They're one color of land on one side and one color on the other side.
Come in untapped.
So you draw it, they come in untapped. You can play it as either. So if you're like mana screwed and you really need red, you play the red side.
Oh, yeah, then those are great.
So, like for instance, there's River Glide Pathway is the blue side. So you can choose to play it for blue, or you can flip it and play Lava Glide Pathway for red.
And that's why Dante was saying, like, if you were to bounce it back to your hand and you really needed like the blue side, but you had played it as the green side, then now you can put it back down as the blue side.
These will definitely help with mana base.
Totally.
Well, they're just
an easy
really
mana
good cards.
fix. Yeah.
Hope, go ahead. Your turn, please.
I also quite like them. I think they're very neat. I agree with Brennan that as long as they keep being printed and stay at a reasonable cost, I think they'll be great. I hope that they stay. Are they rare?
Yeah.
I hope
they
that
are
they
rare.
stay. I hope that they stay at a lower cost than say the Triomes, because the Triomes are like $6 to $13, and like that's pretty ridiculous. In Moose Box, yes. But they're pretty expensive. But if they're like $3, I think that'd be pretty valid. Oh, Zach, you're picking up what I'm putting down, it seems.
So
you may go.
The one thing I think it's going to help these cards stay down in price is the fact that when you look at the Triomes, they do have the land types, whereas these cards do not. So I think looking at the budget aspect of it, what we're all kind of concerned about, except for Dan, is that...
Or Brian.
Let's keep this in mind really quickly to jump in on that. They don't have the land types yet. But there's nothing stopping them printing them. They would not functionally be as good as the dual lands to print with the land types. They're not in yet.
Yeah. Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like right now, I think that'll help keep the price down on these versus the Triomes. Is that
I think they'll definitely be more than $1 rare, but I think that they'll be like between $2 and $4. Maybe the blue ones will be like $4.
I think they'll be a little higher than that. But I was going to say that I think
Triomes
that,
are $6.
Huh? These are better than the Triomes, though. The Triomes are tapped, whereas these are not.
But they're
tapped.
fetchable.
The Triumphs are fetchable, but
the Triumphs are fetchable. The Triumphs also cycle as well. So if you draw them in the late game, like you draw this in the late game, it's still just kind of like a dead draw. You draw a Triumph in the late game, you cycle it away for 3. Hopefully, you get something better.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it value-wise from like competitive play, and in competitive play, you need the fast mana available. So if I'm trying to Mystical Tutor or Demonic Consultation, I need that untapped black or blue mana instantly, right? I don't. So fetchable isn't the problem. You're not really trying to fetch them that way unless you're cracking the shocks.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or the fetch lands.
Yes.
So yeah, like these.
We'll see.
I think they'll be a little higher, but my thoughts on them were they're not going to be feel bad cracks. Like all of these, every one of the rare lands, even the Crawling Barrens, is a pretty good one. Crawling Barrens is the worst one of the rare lands you can crack, but for all of these lands, they don't feel bad. Pretty much everyone's going to have use for them, or they're going to be in cases that, like the case cards, people will buy them through. I don't think these will be in the binders.
These are better than the Scry lands.
Significantly better than temples.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Could not have been a rare.
Yeah. Well, and that's exactly. Those were feel bad for a lot of people when they cracked them. They're like, oh, I don't want
I bought my box and I got 8 of them.
Those are good for draft.
Yeah, they're great. They're great for draft, but they're not great for anything else. Yeah, like if I know this isn't a finance podcast, but if you're going to invest in anything in Zendikar Rising, like these pathways are probably what you should get your play sets of.
Well, and Brennan did make a really good point of if they're not reprinted, the value on these is going to go up. Like they might be, like Hope said, at a very lowest. They might be $4 or $5, but if they're not reprinted in a timely fashion, Commander players are going to devour these cards up. They're not going to sit in stores.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Depending on price point, I'll probably buy every single one at my LGS that is available.
And didn't they say that there's going to be more product for Zendikar Rising as well compared to the other ones that have come out as of late?
Don't know.
Oh, I heard someone mention that there's going to be a lot more of the boxes and everything coming out for people to get.
Certainly not going to have them in stock. That's for dang sure.
I was just scrolling down. I think this is so funny. One of the tokens in the set is copy, and it's just this token can be used to represent a token that's a copy of a permanent.
Oh, that's funny.
They're really going.
Yeah, but no, I don't know about that. I also don't know if that's just relative to having draft boosters as well as set boosters.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
That may be part of it. I'm not sure.
I do more product,
maybe
or different product.
One other nice thing about this though is that it's at the very beginning. Like we have a very long time to like sit on all of this. Like it's like we've got. I think we're gonna get quite a lot of Zendikar. I think it's gonna be really popular. I think people are gonna buy a lot of it while it's in print, just because it's cool.
Yeah.
And there's also a little bit of like nostalgia and like, people just like Zendikar.
But yeah, I generally wanted to talk about the rest of the. Oh, go ahead, Zach.
That's something I wanted to ask you guys about. Was that what do you see yourself picking up? Is it going to be a draft booster, or the draft booster box, or the set booster box? Because the draft boosters, I'm fairly positive you're guaranteed one of the pathways.
I thought they said you're guaranteed a modal card.
I thought it was in the draft. I thought
either way, the answer is yes.
If you can be guaranteed a path booster, then you'd be there.
I'm buying one of each because I'm a crackhead.
I might buy a collector booster. The fact that they come with 2 of the expeditions alone is pretty worth it. Because I can't
seriously,
it's
guaranteed to come with 2 expeditions.
Guaranteed 2 box toppers, baby.
It comes with 2 box toppers that are non-foil, but the collector packs you can also crack expeditions in them in foil.
Oh goodness gracious!
And they think that the crack rate in the collector packs is going to be expedition in about 1 in 6 packs. So in a collector booster, you may come out with 4 of the expeditions.
Oh God, I did not need to know that.
Yeah.
Price of it?
I'm sorry.
No, as far as I can tell, they're going to be the same price as a normal collector.
Yeah, 35, 40 bucks. I don't know what that is in American.
Yep. Fool and his money are soon parted, and I am most certainly a fool.
Well put, my dear.
I will be getting my set booster, and that'll be that.
That's the wise choice. It's not mine.
I'm getting a draft booster. I think Daniel might get a set booster, and then he may or may not get a collector booster, which he's never done.
Yeah, I generally don't like the collector boosters. I just buy the ones I want.
Yeah.
But there's so many. I don't know. Really quickly, I gotta talk about that plant one. I just want to make the plant like Avenger of Zendikar Commander. It seems fun. Everyone keeps complaining about it. It's like
I
the
think it's
file
great.
world sculptor.
Yeah.
It counts. It cares on how many basic lands you have. I just don't.
I think
I love
that's
that one.
nice.
And as soon as I saw its showcase version, I was like, well, I'm gonna get that.
Ding dang.
Anyways, yes. Today we were joined by writers. It was awesome. We created a lot of content, and we do it because lots of people.
Partners, Brennan. Objective partners. You've written, you count. And also, we just love you. So.
Well, I did want to say thanks to everyone who has helped like generate content or just been around. Like everyone here is good people. Brennan's stream is like a great thing. Make sure you guys are checking it out. Yeah. Check out the articles when they are coming out. The same as Dante.
Yeah. You heard Dante speak. He can also write.
To everyone who has, to everyone who's been here for the year, thank you and stuff. It's been a very fun experience growing, talking about Magic, and it's fun to sit down with my friends and just talk about a game
that we love, that we would be talking about anyways. And it's cool that everybody wants to be a part of it. Like, I can't believe we're at a year already. It just feels kind of unreal.
I was gonna say, I think we skipped the excitement. This is one
year.
Yeah, I know, right? Happy anniversary!
Oh my god!
Congratulations!
Oh man,
Incredible.
We should get cake. But no, it's so exciting. You know, like it's just like it's a really big deal, and you know, especially when you consider that most podcasts fail after what, 4?
It's 6 episodes.
6 episodes.
6 episodes. Yeah.
And here we are, 52 plus.
53.
53.
Episode 53. You said it.
Yeah. Well, you know. Isn't that like it's absolutely ridiculous?
It was a good thing I was here to keep us together through all the hard times.
Yeah, you really pulled your weight there,
held
Zach.
the fort down, yeah.
You know, and obviously we've gone through some changes. Like we added me and we added Brian, and Sherman kind of had to go do his own thing.
Yeah,
and, but, you know, but we've also like
new partners, new writers.
Yeah, we've grown such a huge team, and it's just really cool to see how big this has gotten, this little pet project that we started in our basement.
Well, and we have a lot of exciting news coming out for our next year. We're sharing that after. But I just wanted to say again, thank you so much for everyone who's been around and been a part of it.
And supported us and listened and read and joined the community. Like
it's seen our spam.
Came on streams. Everyone who's been
I did that once.
You definitely got to do it again. I still have to find time to get on that one stream, but you guys stream right before I go to work.
Yeah. My work schedule is opening up a little bit, Brennan.
There we go. We'll get hoping.
I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who comes to our live streams and compliments me on my tokens. That means more to me than you guys would ever know.
But yeah, we'll be streaming tonight for anyone who gets the early episode. If not, thank you again so much. Hope I'm rolling the outro. Go.
All right. So we do stream every Saturday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Check out our website, into99.com, for all of those articles, as well. Our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook are all Into the 99. Check out all our socials, as well as our YouTube. If you're interested in supporting us on Patreon, you can also do that. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thanks. Take it easy.
Peace.